Hello team, welcome back. In previous few lectures, we have seen the playbooks, we have seen the introduction part of playbooks, and from this lecture, we will start building the basics of playbook. So very first, we will see how you can put the logging message or debug message in your playbooks. So whenever we are executing some stuff, whenever you are executing a program, sometimes you need to put some kind of messaging or sometimes you need to put some kind of logging in between of your functions so that you can analyze and you can make some kind of logs for your auditing. In the same way, if you need the similar kind of thing with the Ansible, that you need to put some kind of print statement, you need to put some kind of debug statement or logging statement within the Ansible playbook, then how you can do it. In the Ansible, we have a separate module for this, and that module is called the Ansible Debug module. Ansible Debug module is used to print such kind of statement in an Ansible playbook. So, using this way, the Ansible Debug module is helpful for the debugging variables and the expressions. Whenever you are using some kind of variable, you are using some kind of expression and you want to put some kind of logging around it, you can use the Ansible Debug module in Ansible playbook and you will get the desired result. Ansible Debug module accepts the three parameters. First is the MSG parameter, which is a print or logging statement which you want to print. You can put single to multi statement in Ansible playbook using the MSG parameter. Second parameter is a var parameter which is used to print the value of your variable or which is used to get the value of your variable. And third parameter is a verbosity. Verbosity defines that at which particular verbosity that logging statement will be displayed in your log statement. So in previous lectures, we have already seen the verbosity, like we are providing hyphen b, multiple hyphen b, and using that way we was increasing the verbosity of the Ansible. So this verbosity work in that way. You can define the label of a verbosity for a particular print statement, and that print statement will only and only work at that particular verbosity or the higher verbosity. So let's go to the AWS and we will start few instances. Then we will go to the Ansible engine and we will create the Ansible playbook for the debug module. So we are on the Ansible and right now I'm just executing one of my instance. This is instance 1 and IP is 3.143.4.165. Because we are just need to define the debug statement, so I'm just executing the one instance. And now we will switch to the Visual Studio Code and we will create the playbook for this debug module. So earlier we have worked with this particular section. We will create a new folder over here and then we will work with a new playbook. So I have created a new folder named basic concept of the Ansible playbook, which is the name of your module. Now what I will do, I will simply copy any of the playbook in this particular module. So I will copy this playbook and I will rename it. Now I will rename it and call it like Ansible debug. Correct. So we have seen few things in the previous playbook lectures. So we are not going to change this shebang because this is static. Now we can change the name of your playbook. So we will update the name of this playbook. And I have defined this is overview of the Ansible debug module. In the host, I'm going to take all remote user EC2-user, that is not going to change. Become yes, become user root. If you want, you can define it. Otherwise, you can remove it. I'm keeping it as it is. Then I will remove this task and I'm going with the single task. If you want, you can define some kind of message for your task or you can leave it as it is. Let's define the message which is always helpful. And I'm defining a message like task for debug module messaging. Now, let's remove all these things from here. After the task, what you need to do, you need to define the, after the task name, what you need to do, you need to define the module name. So put enter, put a tab, put a one more tab. Now you can see you are creating the structure of your ML, and over here you need to define the module name. I am going to define the debug. Now over here you can define your message. So what was the first variable? First variable was MSG. Put a dot and within the double quotes you can define your message. I'm putting hi. This is custom message for debug module. Correct. Let's copy this. Now let's go to your Ansible engine. Go to the Ansible directory. Put ll, clear out the console, and go to your virtual environment. So we will call source my Ansible bin active. We are inside the virtual environment. Put ll. Here we have the playbook intro directory. Let's create your playbook in the same directory. So I will call it playbook underscore intro. So over here we have the playbook.intro directory. Let's go to this directory. Here we have few playbooks like install, web server YAML, intro playbook YAML. Let's create one more vi ansible underscore debug dot YAML. Now go to the insert mode, go to your Visual Studio Code, copy this playbook, paste it here. Save this. Provide the executable permission to your playbook chmod 0755 ansible debug.yaml. Put ll. You can see the playbook is executable. I will clear out the console and execute this playbook. So now we will execute the Ansible debug playbook, hit enter, and we are getting some kind of error. It is saying no inventory was passed, only implicit localhost is available and skipping the host matched. So why we are getting that error? Because we don't have any inventory defined over this particular location. So what we need to do, we need to exit out from this directory, put ll, and you can see over here we have the ansible.cfg. So from this particular location you need to execute your playbook. So we are executing playbook underscore intro ansible debug.yaml. Hit enter button. This will take some time. So it is creating the connection with AWS. This may take some time, maybe up to 10 seconds. Let's wait. And it is executing the playbook. See, we are getting the playbook execution. This is the play. This is overview of the Ansible debug module. The gathering fact execute by default, as I told you. It is executing on this particular instance, and you can see we are getting the message, hi, this is custom message for debug module. Right. So whenever we want to execute some kind of debugging, we can put a message like this. Clear out your console. Now suppose you want to put the multiple messages. After this, we want to put some more messages. So how we can do that? So let's do one thing. Let's define one more task. And we are defining the task name print 2 line of messages. Then we will put the debug. After the debug, we will put the msg. After this, hit enter, put a slash over here and define your message. And putting a message like, hi, this is multi-line message. Put another line, define another line over here, and I'm line number 2. Correct. Let's copy this. Go to your Ansible engine, open your Ansible debug playbook, clear out the existing content and update the content. So right now we have the two tasks, one for the single line message and another for the multi-line message. Let's save this and execute your playbook. So we are executing playbook intro Ansible debug YAML. Hit enter. See, it is executing the playbook. And see, we are getting both of my tasks. This is the task 1 and this is the task 2. Over here you can see we are getting the message, and if you are familiar with the Python, then this message in the form of list. See, this is a list and it have a 2 element, the message 1 comma message 2. Now let's see if you want to print some kind of variable in your playbook, how you can do that. So we will go to the playbook again and we will define another task over here, name print variable in message. Correct. We will define the debug, we will define the msg, and now we will define the few variables. So if you remember in earlier lectures, we have seen some default Ansible variable. We are going to print one of them. Put a double quote and we are going to print the IP of my machine. We are putting host IP is and put the double curly braces. Then over here within the double curly braces, you need to define the variable name. So if you remember, inventory underscore host name was a one of my variable. Correct. So there are two ways. See, let me show you in a new line. This is the one way, and you can define another message like this. I'm going to put the same statement like this. You can say this is the only difference, that over here I'm putting the double quotes and over here I'm not putting any kind of double quote. I will simply copy this, go to my Ansible engine and update my file. See, I have updated my Ansible playbook. Correct. Now we have the three tasks. Let's save this and execute the playbook again. Hit enter. We are executing the playbook and let's see what we will get this time. It is executing the playbooks and we have executed all three tasks. See, this is the first, this is the second, which is a multi-message, and this is the third. Host IP is this and host IP is this. Why we are getting the FQDN of your machine in the inventory underscore host name? Because that is the global thing. And see, you are getting the FQDN of your AWS machine in the inventory underscore host name variable. If you want to modify this more, you can define one more line over here and you can define the FQDN and the gateway of your machine. So we are defining this in this particular way. This is a message system inventory underscore host name. We are using this particular variable. Then has a gateway Ansible default IBB4.gateway. You will get this value whenever you will keep the fact check on, right? Because we are reading this particular thing from the fact check. Let's copy this line, go to your Ansible engine, clear out the console and update your playbook. We will update the playbook and save the playbook. Now I will execute your playbook. We are executing the playbook. Let's see what we will get. So gather facts is on. That's why it is executing. And you can see the all three tasks executed and we are interested in this one. You are getting the host name and you are getting the gateway IP as well, which is 172.3.1.0.1. Using this way, you can gather multiple variables from your gathering fact. What you can do, we have seen that how we can print the complete gather fact variable. You can play around these variable and you can put these statements in the debug statement and you can use them. Let's go to the VS code again, and this time we want to use another task, and now we want to use the another parameter which is a variable. So we will define name debug, and instead of the message, let's define the where. Over here, what you can do, you can simply put your variable. So suppose we are putting this variable like system inventory, like inventory underscore host name. We are not putting any kind of double quotes over here. You can define the name of your task as well. Debug module where parameter. I will copy your playbook, clear out the console, edit your playbook over here. You can see we have defined another task. Save your playbook and execute your playbook. See, we are getting another task executed over here, and you can see we are getting the key value pair. And in the key value pair, you are getting the key, which is your variable name and the variable value. So we are not defining any kind of message over here. We are just defining the variable and the variable name, and we are getting the variable value as a key value pair. So this is the another way to print the variable values using the debug module. Now the last thing which we are pending with the verbosity. So let's define the verbosity as well. We are defining another task and we was defining verbosity in debug module. Define your module debug, define some message over here, putting a message, hi, this is deep logging at debug level 2. Correct. Define the another thing, another parameter. What is that parameter? That parameter is the verbosity. So we will define the verbosity and we are defining the verbosity like 2. Let's copy this, go to your Ansible machine, clear out your console, edit your playbook. So see, we have defined the another task verbosity in debug module, right? Let's save your file and execute your playbook. Now let's see what you will get. So you can see the playbook is executing and you can see for the task verbosity in the debug module, we are getting a skipping. This message is not executed. Pardon me, there is a spelling mistake in the verbosity, that is verbosity instead of the city. I will correct this. Now let's execute this playbook with the single hyphen v. Hit enter and you can see we are getting the verbose message at level 1, and you will see that this time as well it will not execute your Ansible task. Why? Because we have defined the verbosity level 2. But this time the message is a bit different. It is defining the skipping reason as well. And it is saying that script reason verbosity threshold not met. Let's do one thing. Clear out the console and define execute your playbook with verbosity level 2. Hit enter. And this time we are getting some more logs because we are defining level 2 verbosity. And this time you will see that your task will execute. So let's wait. We are getting a lot of logs and see the task verbosity in debug module that got executed, and it is saying that message, hi, this is deep logging at level 2. Let's do one thing. Clear out your console. Execute the same thing with verbosity level 3. What will happen? Will your verbosity task execute or not? Let's see. As I guess, that will execute. Why that will execute? Because whenever you are defining the verbosity, it will match the threshold. And if the value is matching the threshold and above the threshold, then your task will execute. Right? And this time we are defining the above threshold value. We are getting more logs. And once we will execute the task, and you can see my task is also executing. So team, this is the way how you can put the debug messages, how you can put the logging messages in your Ansible playbooks. So we have seen almost all the ways. If you have any further question regarding logging or printing the messages between the playbooks, then definitely you can let me know. Otherwise, we are good with this particular module. Thank you team. See you next time.